What was the dumbest thing you ever did to try and impress a girl or guy? I was in New Zealand, was going to a beach party with some girls from the hostel I was staying at. To get to the party, you needed to take a $2 ferry across this inlet which was about 1 kilometer wide. I decided to swim it, to impress the ladies. About halfway through I realized that I'm slowly being swept out to sea and I'm losing strength. I'm not sure how, but eventually I made it to the other shore, about 100 meters away from the pier. The ferry had docked about 2 to 3 minutes before me, and I just nonchalantly walked over to meet the girls, as if I hadn't swum against a current to near exhaustion and was swept out to sea. Good side, it worked and I ended up hooking up with one of the ladies. Bad side, the $2 was for a round trip, and I still had to pay $2 to get back once the party was over. I tried to do a backflip. I've never actually done a backflip before, not even on a trampoline. I actually would up just jumping backwards and hitting my head hella hard on the ground, and then I woke up and threw up a bunch. If she ever had a thing for me, which all my friends said she did, it was gone that day. Edit, for everyone worried, I did wind up going to a doctor. He said I was an idiot but that it was a minor concussion and not to worry unless more symptoms started happening, which they didn't. I was about 12 years old and riding my bike home from high school when I saw a pack of pretty girls ahead of me, like 5 years older. This stretch of road meant I had to ride on the pavement, so I thought I'd be cool and overtake them by dropping down into the road and then jumping back up the curb once I passed them. Well, I almost died that day. My determination to impress the girls overtook the part of my brain that deals with logic and I severely miscalculated the jump. I skidded against the curb and it bucked me out into the middle of the road into oncoming traffic. I scrambled to get back onto the pavement and my bike flew clean off the ground and I was propelled into a bush. Goal achieved, I overtook the girls. And they did come over to help and called me cute when I started crying, so I took it as a win. Haven't been on a bike since, though. Edit, yikes, well at least someone gets a laugh out of this experience. Just to clarify because a lot of people seem confused, I'm in England, where high school starts at 11. And I'm also a girl, to all of you referring to me as a heel mow. That saved me some extra embarrassment because if I were a guy they'd almost certainly have caught on that I was trying to impress them. I tried to impress girls once as well, but I wished at the time I was dead because of the embarrassment. I posted this about a month ago. I was 13 and I had no idea how to look cool or not a socially awkward mess around girls. So when riding my bike at the park, my dad had called me to leave, and there were a group of similar-aged girls nearby I thought were cute. My first thought in my sub-Neanderthal brain was, oh, in movies they like strong guys. I can lift my bike, I'll show off that, as if that wasn't the stupidest fucking thing ever. So I lifted my bike over my shoulder, like you would a bag of ice or something. Except it's a smaller mountain bike so it's solid metal and very heavy. So there I am, trying to act like I no need wheel this thing like normal person, me strong, me carry far way, I show. My dad just yells to me, hey bud, just wheel it, it's just a bike. As if it's a normal occurrence that I forget how bikes work. I promise it wasn't. So do I put it down and just quit it? Nah, I have a hole to dig and China is the destination. I just walk, a scrawny 13-year-old with a big-ass bike on his shoulder, slowly and carefully all the way across a playground to the car. And my dad just puts it in and said it wasn't worth it, huh? And I just stayed silent. My poor father probably sat there like, bless his soul, he's retarded. I sometimes, late at night, lay down calmly and just as I'm about to sleep, I get hit with this cold feeling of anxiety and terror as I remember that moment. If I could, I would have punched myself into a coma. Fuck, I was an idiot. I was abroad in Dominican Republic. They had a dance competition on a stage, anyone could enter and it had around 200 people watching. I was about 9 to 10ish and spotted a cute girl who must have been around 14 to 15. So obviously I decided the best way to get her attention was to get up on stage and dance my heart out. Cue 3 minutes of awkward shuffling, while maintaining constant eye contact with that girl, and horrified/queasy looks from my parents. The coordinator cut me off early by pretending the speaker stopped working. I got a pity clap. When I was a teen I took taekwondo classes and there were 2 beautiful girls around my age. They liked to go and have a smoke behind them all before class and I wanted to be cool and impress them so I took up smoking too. It was about 2 weeks in when one girl came to class early so I went and had a smoke with her. Then the next girl came in and wanted to have a smoke, so I went and had another one with her. When we came back we started doing our warm-up laps and I felt very queasy, I had to throw up, so ran outside, right next to the Dairy Queen. I threw up all over the glass wall where the cashiers and several people eating looked on in horror. I bought a hedgehog off someone to give to her, but her parents said no. I ended up keeping him and he was the sweetest boy. Lived for 7 years. On a 4th of July date after going out to dinner, I took her out on the lake in a canoe to watch the fireworks. It was awesome. Young macho me, of course, turned down her offer of help with a large canoe and I manhandled that thing like it was nothing. Put her in it while it was on the grass and continued manhandling it to show off just how strong I was. The next morning I had to call in to work sick because my back muscles were so strained I couldn't get out of bed. My back was sore for over a week. In high school, a few hours after school was let out, I was talking to this guy I had a crush on when he mentioned he left his Spanish notebook in his locker and had a test the next day. Since it was a regional high school and he was far away and I was close, I offered to help him out. I walked a mile to the school, went to his locker, called him, got the combination, and read 10+ pages from the notebook to him while I sat on the hallway floor and he took notes. Getting up from the bleachers to play dodgeball, I tried to pull my sweatpants off while yelling "Let's do this." Ended up yanking off everything, boxers and all. I lied and said I had experience in journalism, because I didn't think we'd have anything except a brief encounter, when I'd actually only taken one class in college. Our first date he took me with to report on a local clash between police and citizens and I got tear-gassed and robbed. Tried to backflip from a 5 meters diving board, there was no flipping involved, just me falling on my back into a pool from 5 meters high. Shit didn't feel good, don't know which one was more bruised, my back or my ego. Ran into a busy road and picked up a hedgehog. Wasn't run over, but my hand stung for a week. I'm imagining a scene in which your love interest glides silently past you as the popular kid at school arrives and puts their hand around their shoulder. They walk away laughing about some hilarious joke they share whilst you stand silently holding a hedgehog with stinging hands. It then starts to rain. Did a backflip from a tree about 5 feet up. Landed it, but the ground was slippery, and I used my hands to catch me falling backwards, and broke my wrist. 10th grade me, you were a fucking moron. I mean landing it at all is still pretty badass though. Tried to razor scooter down the steepest hill around. Crashed into the back of a funeral hearse and shattered the back window. There was a body inside and the family was outside waiting to either go to the cemetery or take the coffin inside. I got up, covered in blood and glass, grabbed my scooter and hobbled away to the nearest alleyway. Started smoking. Wanted to look cool and have an excuse to talk to her. It worked, but we only dated for a couple of months. Biggest mistake of my life. I made sure I was the one to return her jacket when she forgot it at school. When I gave it back to her the next morning she blamed me for stealing it. We didn't end up together. Wow, this blew up. Thanks for my first platinum. For the people that were wondering, I did not steal the jacket. Trust me, if she immediately assumed you stole it after you were the one who brought it to her, then you definitely dodged a bullet there. The guy I was seeing went on a vacation with his family for 2 weeks, and I had the key to his place to feed his cat. While he was gone, I painted his bathroom. He thought it was weird, but seemed mostly okay with it. But it worked. He married me in October. In elementary school, when I walked by this girl I liked, I would pretend to chew gum and crack my knuckles cause I thought I'd look cool. Jesus. I bet this kid could carry so many folding chairs at once. Love this. 9-year-old me was so impressed when Brandon could lift 5 at once. Kids are so fucking weird. Not really dumb, but kind of funny to look back on now. I wasn't good at sports, but I was fairly quick, so I joined the track team to impress a girl. Turns out the girl wasn't impressed by our runners, but I did end up going to state in the 100 meters dash and placing second. Did you also place second in the competition for her heart? I didn't even make it to finals. Frown. Learned how to rap Crack a Bottle by Eminem. When I showed him I could, he only knew the clean version and I knew the actual dirty version. How was this delivered? Did you just go up to him and start rapping at him, or did you wait for an opportunity? I can't imagine what this kind of opportunity looks like. When he came and picked me up he played it BC, it's his favorite song. That's how I was able to show him. I don't think he even told me or looked impressed. Lol. Kept telling me I was saying the wrong lyrics when it was supposed to be the clean version. Subscribe to our channel if you liked our videos. Hit the notification bell to get notified.